London, 2008. A time of celebration. A time for successful people to gather together and commemorate the achievements of a company which has brought wellness and financial independence to thousands of people in over 50 countries across the globe. A time to celebrate the journey which has created a multi-million-dollar company. A time to enjoy the fruits of a vision which has grown and developed into a way of life. A time to share the thoughts, experiences and strategies which have brought success to these people and this company. GNLD. 50 years of people empowering people. But what got us to the summit of success? What road led us to London 2008?
I started my journey at age 19, and that was in 1959. 1 year after, I believe, that Neolife was formed by Don Pickett. So I was 19 years old. I attended a meeting where I saw an opportunity, presentation. The product line was nutritional products. My brother Bob was there, 3 years younger than me, and we joined that night. I was a little faster than Bob. I signed up 5 minutes before he did, and then I sponsored him, okay? I started out, I joined, I paid $48.50 for a kit. That was more money in 1959. That might be, $500 today, or maybe more. But in 1959, $48.50, that was my entry price. Gave me one to eat, one to sell. I started eating the one. I ran to my grandfather's house to try to sell him a product. Bob has gotten on his bicycle early that morning. He beat me down to the grandfather's house, stole the first customer from me.
This was the start of what was to become a great success story. From small town Porterville to all over the globe, this is the story of GNLD. At the beginning of the 1960s, Jerry started slowly building his business. He faced difficulties. He faced failures. Twice his business failed, but he persevered. It was a slow process to start, building his downline one at a time. What he found, though, was that it was this part of the business he needed to focus on. He needed to build and maintain relationships. Jerry found that he could not just stay in Porterville, and the business started to spread, first to neighboring towns, and then to the biggest cities in America. By the end of the decade, Jerry had representation in some of the major centers across the USA. It was in 1970 that Jerry and Bob formed Golden Products. The company had as its driving force the idea of providing products which are good for people and good for the environment. In 1970, Australia became the first country outside of America to establish a distributor network. Then the company opened in South Africa. It then moved to Lesotho. From Lesotho to Namibia, and then to Swaziland. In 1973, Golden Products moved into Italy, and then to Sweden. In 1975, Jerry started another company, Dynamite. In the same year, Don Pickett commissioned Dr. Arthur First as a consultant to Neolife. His task was to monitor the quality of products and to lead new product development. This initiative later blossomed into the Scientific Advisory Board. The 70s remained a time of steady growth for all three companies, and in 1978, Golden Products moved into Canada. The 1980s. A decade which started with bad hairdos and worse clothing. But for Jerry, Don and Bob, it was a decade of steady growth. In 1983, Jerry acquired full interest of Neolife. And so the three companies, Golden Products, Dynamite and Neolife, were brought under one roof. The steady growth into the world market continued, with Norway joining the fold in 1981, Japan in 1984, Denmark in 1988, and back into the Southern Hemisphere with New Zealand in 1989. The 1990s were a period of great growth. In 1990, Botswana joined, followed by Finland in 91, then to France in the same year. From France, it moved to Mexico in 92, from Mexico to Slovenia, and then Croatia joined in 93. 94 saw a spurt of growth. Germany, Hungary, Iceland, Ireland, and then the United Kingdom all joined. In 1995, GNLD spread into Barbados, Jamaica, and across the Indian Ocean to the Philippines, then across to Spain. From Spain to Switzerland and Trinidad and Tobago. Then across the ocean again to Austria, the Czech Republic, Estonia, and then all the way back to Africa with Kenya and Malawi. From Malawi, it was back to Europe with Romania joining, and then back to Africa, Uganda and Zambia joining in that year. In 1997, Jerry amalgamated all three companies, Neolife, Golden Products and Dynamite, and they became GNLD, Golden Neolife Dynamite. Also in 97, the new GNLD expanded even further, growing into Bosnia-Herzegovina, then Ghana in Africa, back to Latvia in Europe, and then Tanzania joining. Just before the decade ended, GNLD opened in Nigeria, Africa's most populous state. The 2000s have brought continued expansion to GNLD, and the strong drive by management is supplemented by distributors who are extending their lines continuously. Africa has become a strong growth point, and new markets are opening up throughout the world. In 2005, Mozambique opened, then Serbia and Montenegro, and Cameroon all joined GNLD's worldwide representation. In 2007, Lithuania, St. Lucia, Antigua, and the Bahamas came on board. This year, Angola became part of GNLD's massive worldwide market. To date, 51 countries are distributing products to people who want to make a better life for themselves. For 50 years, GNLD has been living the value of people empowering people. For 50 years, the dedication and hard work of thousands of people around the globe have developed the company into a multi-million-dollar enterprise. It's taken 50 years to achieve this pinnacle of success. But this is just the beginning. The same vision which brought us to this point is the vision which will drive us into the future. A prospect filled with the promise of immeasurable success for all the people of GNLD.